Before Ecta reaches the age of about 13 or 14, not much is expected of her. She is taught some basic skills that Apache women need. These included sewing, cooking, cleaning, building wickiups, hunting small animals, and gathering food.
Karuk is a 13-year-old Apache boy. Even though he is young, this is the stage in Karuk's life where he begins his training. Instead of going to school or being taught lessons and training, Karuk and other Apache boys learn the necessary skills to become an Apache warrior from their fathers and grandfathers. They learn by example and listen to tales of heroic deeds and ancient traditional stories of war told by their elders. Karuk also trains by practicing what he has learned. His father makes him a bow and arrow, and he has him practice with many different kinds of weapons. He is also hardened for war by playing in wrestling games and having mock fights with other young Apache boys. Now that he is 16 years old, Karuk is expected to be a skillful warrior, so he is sent with his fellow tribesmen on his manhood test.
Once she is of age, around 13 or 14, Ecta is given a 4-day ceremony. This is called the Sunrise Ceremony, and after it, Ecta will become a woman in the eyes of the tribe. During the 4 days of her celebration, she is thought to possess the powers of the white-painted woman, the first woman on Earth. She is free to marry and raise a family from then on.
It is now time for Karuk's manhood test. This test requires him to go on a total of 4 raids with his tribe. Afterwards, he will be judged on his skills as a warrior, which will determine whether he is a man or not.
Karuk and his fellow warriors would then raid several neighboring tribal villages and colonial settlements for needed supplies. Karuk and his warriors would only raid out of necessity. They would only raid someone if they needed their supplies, their food, or their weapons. The guerrilla warfare tactics of the Apaches were considered unparalleled at the time. They would strike fast and leave before the enemy had any time to retaliate. Their skills in combat were feared and respected by many of the colonial generals, one of which even gave them the nickname the Tigers of the Human Species. Even though they mainly fought and hunted in groups, a single Apache warrior was still something to be feared. A single Apache warrior was said to have been able to run 50 miles without tiring and was even able to outrun horses. Karuk has successfully completed 4 raids and is returning home to his village. Now considered a man, he is going to try to get married.
In order to get a husband, Ecta will have to participate in the traditional crane dance. This dance is a way to put the girls of the tribe out for men to pick from. If an Apache man, usually around the age of 16, takes interest in Ecta, he must try to win her over. He will talk to his mother, who will then speak to her mother. He will come into the camp in which she lives late at night with a light. He will illuminate his face so Ecta can see him. If she's pleased with him, she must blow out the light.
Karuk now returns from his manhood test and he attends the crane dance. He chooses Ecta as his wife. Ecta accepts his request and blows out his candle.
Now that she is married, Ecta is now considered the mother of her family. She sews clothing, tans hides, builds, cooks, cleans, and gathers food.